Hi, I'm Scott. Today is my first new Explain History. My other Explain Histories are linked below if you want to check out what's going on with this one. This Explain History is about, Captain America. But not just any other way. This is a full history. An actual full history this time. Starting from the beginning, Captain America's first appearance in his very first issue of his own series in 1941. You already know the origin story. Steve Rogers, one who started out as a skinny guy, and then he had super soldier serum and not given muscles. Then someone was assassinated, and he faced against what was supposedly, what people call it, the Nazis, and then, he faced against what people call World War II, and then after a certain time ended, he lost his bug. He thought he was dead, but turned out he was brainwashed, being called a Winter Soldier, and then he was frozen for many years until he was founded by the Avengers. Yes, that Captain America. Steve Rogers, a soldier starting in the war. Pretty much, you already know his origin, you already know his actual name, or at least the one you're familiar with. This issue has him punching Hitler, which he never does in the story, thanks to Pop Culture Comics. Yeah, according to them, he never actually goes to see the unfortunate racist being alive during the time when he was around. He never actually seen him. He never goes to Germany, ever. So why is he so famous for this cover his? Well, that's because how familiar he is in the story. The issues of his stories continue on into his story, and even got himself a film serial that wasn't even about the comic character Steve Rogers, and had a different origin. We'll be covering that soon after. You continue on until after World War II, but the series stopped and got cancelled, and then came a weird horror tale, and then continue on until Captain America, until the series had stopped and got cancelled again by 78 issues. After that, it's been a decade since he's been around, until the 4th issue of the Avengers, where he was discovered to be frozen, and it turned out to be a long time. That's right, they needed to retcon that, and then another retcon turns out that the other Captain Americas that you saw weren't Steve Rogers. By the way, yes, there are multiple people that took on the role of Steve Rogers, and we will get to one of them soon. After reappearing at one of the issues of the Avengers, after a decade after his book being cancelled, he appeared in the 58th issue of what was starring Iron Man, Tales of Suspense. And then by issue 59 to 99, he continued on into the story with his series starting again with after the 99th issue with Captain America number 100. Yes, that's confusing that they skipped numbers. This series continue on into the rest of the 60s and into the 70s, 80s, and into the mid-90s. with Captain America having 2 TV movies, they were not well made, and an actual movie that came out in a different country in theaters that was also not well made. The TV films even having facing against dog and having have a plastic shield and on a motorcycle for some reason. And also the actual movie the other movie that he was made during this time was originally gonna have the Red Skull sealing the Statue of Liberty. Yes, that is very crazy. Next, and then the series had stopped again, but then had, and the 90s one had his plastic ears. And then the series continued again up until 454. During this time, he also appeared in the 90s Marvel cartoons, and also appeared in other pieces of media. But the series had stopped again by 454. By appearing in other comics when the series got launched into volume 2, 3, and 4. Continue on in the series, was appearing in other comic books, including comic events like Secret Invasion, Civil War, Civil War 2, and also other comics, such as his Bucky the Falcon becoming taking on the mantle, and other stories and events in comics. He also had appearances in the MCU, with his first appearance in that film series, his own solo movie called Captain America: The First Avenger. Here we see the origins of Captain America and how he was I already explained. A skinny guy who became super strong thanks to something called a super soldier serum. And his next appearance in the MCU was The Avengers, where he joined the Avengers, just like he did in the comics. And also, the next appearance in the MCU of his was The Winter Soldier, where it turns out that the Winter Soldier was a brainwashed Bucky, a friend of his that was sort of like a sidekick. And then his next appearance was in Age of Ultron. And then there's also ones where he appeared in like Civil War, and that only a couple appearances in Spider-Man Homecoming. He made his full appearances in Captain America, in Infinity War and Endgame. And then Falcon take over as Captain America in the TV series Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Again, exactly like the comic. The MCU version of Captain America is pretty like the comic version. He starts out as the origin of his film, becomes a team member of the Avengers, continues on into other MCU movies, just like he did in 2021 and other comics when he had his solo series and just like his solo films, and then finally give the mantle to Sam Wilson, aka the Falcon. And then finally, the latest MCU film of Captain America is upcoming of this year, Captain America 4: Brave New World. Next. Next it will be displaying history of Venom and the mysterious new series I'm planning on, not having revealed the title yet. And then after that, couple more videos to come until the end of this year. I'm Matt the Comic Guy. Bye.